Welcome all, Boone here from EWPRO, getting straight into the weekly outlook, looking at the DXY on the daily time frame. Looking for this low here to be broken. Well, price to come down to this low here for an A, B, C. If we look on the H4, there is possible still more downside here. We sort of have like 1, 2, 3. Looking at a wave 4, and we get a wave 5 down in here. We do have a bear hidden here as well. That's why I'm looking for this low to be broken, possibly down to this 100 fib. That's what I'd be targeting if I was looking for the sell here. The H1 is sort of getting some sort of correction here. We might get like an A, B, C up in here before we, fall over and go and break the low. So yeah, I'd be looking for a sell there. It's really just a scalp, but as soon as that low is broken, I'd be looking for a buy. AU, really just looking at this last part here now. Looking at a 1, 2, 3, wave 4, and we trade a wave 5 up. H4, we're waiting for this larger correction here. I'm looking at this as internal in the wave 3. So we got 1, 2, 3. Wait for this wave 4, and then you can trade a wave 5 up. We are starting to get bearish divergence, so I would be waiting for a time factor here. This could be the end of the wave 3 here. There may even be a sell set up here. No, doesn't really look like it. You could look for a sell on the M15. It's not the best, but if you got a correction in here, you could look for at least 3 down, like A, B, C. It may turn motive because we are looking for that larger correction on the H1, on the H4, sorry. GU on the daily, looking at an A, a B, and a C up to that 100 fib there. That's more of the weekly. But on the H1, I am still looking at this A, B, C here. And then we get an A, a B, a C before we get that larger A, B, C. We aren't getting any downside. There's no sell setups on it for this wave down yet. In fact, it's still very much bullish on the H4. We do have a bull hidden here. You could look to buy this just to go and break that top. It's just a scalp, just to break that top. Yeah. And then I'd be looking for a sell setup for that larger C down. H1, we are, this does look quite corrective here. There was a trade in here, but that's gone. I'll take that off. But yeah, looking for a buy. EU on the daily, looking at, well, more on the weekly, A, a B, and a C. We're right up at that 100 fib. H4, very similar to GU. Looking at a 1, 2, 3, waiting for a wave 4, and then we trade a wave 5 up. Waiting for this time factor here. Again, on the H1, you could look for a buy here. It's just for 3 up, really. Like an A, a B, and a C. then I'd be looking for a larger one down, like an A, B, C. And this could turn quite complex, this correction here on the H4, for that H4 wave 4. So yeah, it's not the best setup either, so you'd have to be careful. And well, the weekly I was looking at this A, a B, and we get a C up here. It never went. Instead, we get this on the daily. We got this A, a very deep B, and we're getting that C up. It hadn't even reached this 100 fib here yet. It may still go. The H4, looking at that 1, 2, 3. Possibly this is still in the wave 3 too. And we get a wave 4, and then we trade a wave 5 up. Very similar to the other majors. This one, on the H1, I'd pretty much be leaving it alone until we get that larger correction, that H4 correction. More than likely, this will go up and break the top, but it's very close to the top here, so you're not going to get a very good risk reward. That's a problem, and this could turn quite complex. You know, this at this stage, this could give you one down in here. So you know, I'd be waiting for that larger correction and then trading it. UY, nothing's changed on the daily. Looking at W, X, Y, X2, and then we traded wave Z up. You definitely can look for a sell here. We got a nice impulse down from the top, so if we get a correction in here, you definitely could look for at least 3 down. And we are looking for that daily X2. So this could even turn motive, you know, give you 5 down here. Just got to wait for this. There was, if you've been following me for a while, we had a nice impulse here, and I was looking for a correction here to sell. But that went and broke the top. So now we do have to be, you got to wait for this correction, because this may be a flat here, expanding flat, and it goes up and breaks the top again. So we need that correction. That's why we wait for the correction. It was looking good to start off with here, and then it took off and broke the top, so we didn't get a sell on it. This time, if we get a sell on it, we can look for at least 3 down. UY, this is going to be quite complex. All this, you can see where my arrows are. I was looking for like 1, 2, 3, get a wave 4 in here and a possible wave 5 up. That's still possible. We get a 5th wave up here. The H4 is not looking very nice, so at this stage, we got the 5 up. Then we had that A, B, C, nice flat in here. Had a nice impulse up, and I was just waiting for a bullish setup in here to give us another 5 up, possibly. Instead, it's fallen over here. And we had a bear hidden there as well. So it's no real surprise that that low is getting broken. Possibly will get broken, but really now, I mean, it's going to be hard to trade. Just yeah, that this low here hasn't been broken yet. So at minimum, I need this low here to be broken, and then you know, a nice impulse up, correction, and a buy set up in here to buy. Other than that, I wouldn't be looking for the sell in here. You know, we're just about broken that low, so you've got to be careful. USD CAD played out. like we're looking at, we did get this wave Z down. H4, there's really nothing on it. We did get the 5 down. We had a bear hidden in here. Oh, sorry, there. And we did go and break that low. We were looking at that. Problem is now, on the H1, like I showed last week, we have a bear hidden here. And yeah, so this can be a correction here to go and break the low. So it's going to be very difficult to trade until this low is broken again. Now, especially with that bear hidden. I think I said last week, really need to break this top here to take out that possible bear hidden, or else it's going to be very risky. We were looking for this buy here. And I said, you got to be very careful because it may just come and break this top and then fall over with that bear hidden. And that's pretty much what it's done. It hadn't broken the low yet, but yeah, it's going to be very difficult to trade at this stage. The Swissy, looking at this A, B, C, it's right on that 100 fib. Again, it's like you had expecting a correction here. Like a 1, 2, 3. We get a wave 4 in here and then a wave 5 down. This is looking very corrective. So we're pretty much sitting on the sideline until we get a 5th wave down, and then I'd be looking for a longer term buy. I'm more interested in the buys. There's really nothing to trade per se on the H1 or anything. It's very messy. I'd be staying out of it until we get something solid to trade. EG pretty much playing out how we're looking at it. Got this leading diagonal here, 5 up, A, B, C. So I am looking for possibly another 5 up here. H4, we got the 5 down, that was fine. We got a nice impulse here. So if we do get a nice correction in here, you definitely can look for buys for at least 3 up, like at least 3 up. More than likely, it'll go and break all the tops. But yeah, I'd be looking for any buy setup. WTI, I'm looking at that A, B, and a C up in here. You are starting to get a move up, but it's extremely choppy. Really need this one down in here, so we get an A, B, C here, and then we get like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you could trade away 5 up. Other than that, there's really not much on it. You really need to wait for this low to be broken in this wave here, that wave C down, and then go down to the lower time frames and look for a buy to at least go and break that top. Yeah, and it's not quite there yet. So yeah, and I wouldn't be looking for the sell. I mean, you could sell it. You get a correction in here on the lower time frames, you could look for a sell just to go and break that low. And if you're lucky, it falls over for you. But yeah, I'm just looking for an A, B, C here, and then a buy set up to trade that wave 5 up. Gold, we got the 5 up. Got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just looking for a larger correction. Larger correction in here now. We got to be extremely careful here too. This is still very much bullish in my view. We do have a bull hidden here. So there's two scenarios here. This either goes up and breaks the top, or we get a very deep correction. Very deep correction to this wave. And then we get a C down, like an A, B, C. It's really not a very nice setup on it, fortunately. This can turn quite complex, like an A, a B. Should really get a little bit further down on the lower time frame. We may even get another one down in here with a bear hidden. Yeah, at this stage, I mean, we could look at this as all the flat, and then we get an A, a B, and a C. Or we get another one down in here first before it goes. We've got to go down to the lower time frame and see if there's a bear hidden in here. I'll go down to the M15 or M30 actually. Yeah, we are getting bearish diverge, bear hidden here. So we have a bear hidden in here. So, like I was just mentioning, we may get another one down in here for like 1, 2, 3, 4, and we get a fifth wave down in here before it goes. So you will have to be careful. If price comes up and breaks this top here, well then, if we get a correction, well then you could look for a buy. Yeah. WTI, very similar to gold. If you've been following me for a while, you know I'm waiting for this B wave on the daily. This one did come down and break, take out that bear hidden. But yeah, again, there's really not much on it. You know, there's so many different structures this could turn into. We're looking at a B wave on the daily, so I dare say we're going to be in corrections for a very long time. It's really just scalping. Well, we had 3 down, and then this has turned corrective as well. So, you know, we can get another one down in here for an A, B, C here, and then like an A, a B, and a C up in here, a flat. And then we get the A, B, C. So, like I just mentioned, it's really just scalping. You could look to sell this for 3 down to break that low for that A, B, C here. It's really for the experienced traders. If you can't identify the structures, well, you know, you're going to get cut to pieces. So, you know, yeah. Bitcoin starting to look interesting. We got the 5 up. Looking at that A, a B, C, possible expanding flat here on the daily. So we are looking for buys on the daily, but not convinced this is over yet. You know, if we look on the H4, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, a wave 4, and then possibly a wave 5 down. We may get a bear hidden in here. But in saying that, this is very corrective in here. So you definitely can look for that C up. If you're lucky, it goes for you. But I'd be mindful that it just can be an A, B, C, and then gives you that fifth wave down. Definitely can buy this. It was more yesterday than today. So if you got a little correction in here on the lower time frames, you definitely could look for at least 3 up. I mean, this could be like an A, a B, a C here, a flat, and goes from here. So yeah, definitely be looking at that if you're trading Bitcoin. S&P 500 right up the top of that. It's on the way second target at 161.8. You can see how much resistance we're getting there at that 161.8. There's the problem with it is there's no sell setup. That hadn't given us a sell setup. So again, ideally, this does come up, break the tops, then gives us a nice impulse down, a correction, and then we could look for a sell. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, and I would avoid trading in here, the buys, we got a lot of bearish divergence. But unfortunately, it just hasn't given us a sell. We could look for a sell here. Like we do have a bear hidden here, for this to come down and break that low. It may give you an opportunity to get in. Um, it's like an A. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we get a fifth wave down in here with that bear hidden. It's extremely, like I was mentioning, it's not a very good setup at all. This wave 4 has come into the territory of this wave 2. It's breaking a lot of rules, unless this is a leading diagonal, and it doesn't fit the pattern of a leading diagonal. So, um, yeah, but like I was just mentioning, if you do get a correction in here, you could look to sell. It's just scalping. You may get lucky and it really falls over for you, but by the look of the price action, it's staying up the top here. So, but if you do get a correction, you can look to sell to break that low, and yeah, see how far it goes. But you're getting cut to pieces in here trading this. I mean, this one, the first one was fine. When we had this flat here, we were looking for that to go up, up to this target here. Um, that was after that nice impulse. Now it's getting very messy. So you can either identify these patterns, or you're staying out. Simple as that. You'll get cut to pieces. That's where people lose their money. AU200, this hasn't quite broken the top. It's extremely close to breaking the top. With this A, B, C here, we're looking at to go and break the top. This has been very choppy on the lower time frames. Very choppy. I'd be pretty much looking for well, in saying that, we did lose the divergence here. There's no divergence. We lost it in this one here. So yeah, and until that low is broken, it's going to be very difficult to sell, or risky to sell, should I say. The H1, there's really not much on it. Really need more price action before we can trade it to see what. I mean, it can go either way. We got an impulse and an impulse, and an impulse in here. Do we get a correction and another one up, and we get an A, B, C? Well, that's possible, and we get another one up, breaking the top, or yeah. So there's not enough price action there to determine what's going on yet. We got to wait for a correction. So the FTSE, really nothing to do on this either. It's really taken off. I'm only looking for sells. We're getting a lot of bearish divergence, so I'm only looking for sells. We can get this flat here, like we got 3 up in here, so we get like an A, a B, a C, and more upside. So you have to be careful. There's no sell setups. So, and in fact, there's a bull hidden here. So I wouldn't be surprised if this does go up and break the top. If you're looking for the buy, you're just scalping, and then ideally it breaks the top, gives us a nice impulse down, a correction and a sell setup, and then I'm pretty much waiting for this. I'm waiting for a sell setup. Lastly, the DAX. This is already played out too. There's nothing we can do here. I mean, we had bull hidden in here, looking for that to go up and break that top. It's done that, and then it's given us a larger correction, and it's gone up and broken the top. So we already have an A, B, C up with the bearish divergence. I mean, this wave C may not be over, but it starts to get risky, you know, if you're not already on it. Yeah, I dare say this is going to go and break the top. You know, we got a nice impulse up. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we do. It's, yeah, sort of have an A, B, C, D, E. It could be a triangle here too, and we get another one down before it goes. So again, it's quite tricky to get the direction. This, I'll just double check. Yeah, this is the low here, so you definitely can look for a buy. You know, with this impulse here, you'd want to wait for a nice correction in here before you look for the buy. And it's just to go and break that top. It's just a scalp, and you're scalping right at the top of the market. You're buying right up the top of the market. Extremely risky. Like I said, I'm pretty much waiting on these indices, waiting for a sell setup. And I'll just leave them alone until I get that. So I hope you enjoyed the weekly outlook. If you did, please hit the like button, share and subscribe. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there next week.